Hey, this is Melissa with Sincerely Creative Mom. Today we're going to create this beautiful, very traditional colors Christmas wreath on our patent pending pancake wreath frame. This was a kit, so technically this is the video for the kit. The kit came with the frame. It came with the sign, a wooden sign, your pipe cleaners. It came with a roll of mesh, which just to make this video go quicker, I've already pre-cut and I'll tell you the inches. So I pre-cut it for myself. And it came with 3 ribbons for the bow, 2 2.5-inch ribbons and a 1.5-inch ribbon. It came with 2 ribbons for the tails, both 2.5 inches. I've already pre-cut these. We're going to pre-cut these together. Y'all, it comes in, it's folded, okay? These are 12 inches, 12-inch folds typically. It's 5 yards. This particular one is 5 yards. Please don't just cut, okay? Because it's only 12 inches long and you need 14. So please don't just give it a good cut there because you'll end up being a little bit short. Not that 12 inches would look bad because that's how I started doing the pancake wreath. But it looks a lot better when it's 14 inches. So the first thing we're going to do is cut those. And I have just a tool that's going to help us go a little bit quicker. So it's 14 inches long. I'm just going to keep going. I need 12 of them. 1, 2, oops, sorry. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you should have a little bit left over. Now, this is how much I had left over from this ribbon, and this is how much I had left over from this ribbon. They're both 5 yards long. This one's a little thicker, so it wraps a little thicker, so I have a little less, just so you know. If you're like, why do I have a little bit left in this and more left? No. It's just because this one's thicker. So now I have it 14 inches, and I'm going to cut on both of those ends. This is really thick ribbon. It's one of my favorite Christmas ribbons. It's really thick, a little gold edging there. Totally love it. Okay, so I'm just going to fold those now and create my dovetails on both ends. So even though I had those kind of right together, they do shift a little bit, so I'm still going to line those up. Use my super good scissors, nice and sharp. Cutting all those at once. Now, again, I pre-cut the mesh just to make it go a little quicker. These are 14, ribbons are 14 inches for this design. The mesh was pre-cut 20 inches long. So if you're starting to do your design while I'm cutting these, you can cut your mesh. It's 20 inches long and you only need 12 pieces. So you'll be left with this much left on your roll. Okay. There we go, nice and easy here. If you want to save these little pieces, you can put them in your bow. I'm going to set them aside for now. What I'm going to do here is, now I'm going to take my favorite ribbon and put it on the top. I'm going to fold those, set them aside. Here we go. So that I prep everything in the beginning so that the construction part of it goes a little quicker. What I love about these 2 ribbons is this has a nice real thin gold there, and this is lined with gold. Totally beautiful together. Absolutely love these 2. And the traditionals, I'm going to just, all of the different themes and color themes of Christmas, they all sell. For me, which could vary to you, it might not be the same, but for me, what sells the most, the quickest, is always the traditional. Always the red, emerald green, red, white, always the traditional colors sell fastest for me. They all sell, although I'll say I've only made one wreath that was pink for Christmas, and that's still sitting over at the Deco warehouse. So I have no idea how that would really sell. Is that true? Did I only make one pink wreath for Christmas? Oh, I think so. Anyway, okay, so now we have those kind of pre-done. I'm going to set those aside so that we can grab them when we're ready. I'll set our bow ribbon aside. We can grab that when we're ready. We're going to take our pipe cleaners. Your kit comes with 15 pipe cleaners. We're going to take our pipe cleaners and just wrap them exactly where the notch is. Everywhere there's a hole, we're going to put those right in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they are not the same length. It doesn't matter. We are going to use such a small portion of that pipe cleaner. We're going to cut most of it off, so it doesn't matter if they're not, you know, they're not the same length. It doesn't matter. You don't want one to be like crazy super short. You need enough to work on it. But the only thing is that I would say I wouldn't use half, just because first of all you'd be saving yourself 12 pennies. Okay, that's number one. Number two, it's not as convenient and easy to work with, and so therefore your time, you're spending a little bit more time on it, and so that is, you know, time is money. So spend the extra 12 pennies and use a full pipe cleaner. It's okay that it comes off. I'm sorry. It's okay that you cut most of it off. So our frame has spots exactly where your pipe cleaners need to go. So everywhere there is a notch on the edge, there's a coordinating hole. Again, that's where I'm putting them all in, inside and outside. It makes for a very easy structure, a very easy base. You don't have to question, think about it, measure. You don't have to do any of those things. Okay, perfect. I'm going to set those aside now. Again, I pre-cut our mesh, 20 inches long. This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mesh. It is that, what I know as that wide foil. So it's all foil, and it's just gorgeous mesh. So I'm going to take these pieces, I'm going to ruffle right up the center. I'm going to start on the outside pipe cleaners first. The outside pipe cleaners first. Oopsie. You don't want to just grab that. You want to make sure you're ruffling all the way up as far as you can. Ruffle, ruffle, pinch. It's coming right down in there. Crisscross, twist, twist. And then I'm going to take these and overlap. Now, as you can see, that's fraying pretty bad. Y'all, you're going to put a layer of ribbon on top, and then another layer on top. You are not going to see that mesh in the fraying part. And if you do see the fraying part, I love you, but you're doing something wrong, okay? You shouldn't see that fraying part at all. It should be concealed, nice and tucked away underneath all your ribbons, your sign, and your bow. Oopsie. Okay. This mesh is so pretty. Now, I'll also say, typically I like to use a neutral mesh, one that will really let the ribbons kind of shine and do their thing and be the be the star of the show. Clearly, this is not neutral. This is definitely nice, bright, shiny green. And I feel like in this case, because our ribbon choices had what I feel like was a little neutral in it, I feel like they're still going to shine, and then they'd be better off against a green than a neutral, since some of them, like since this one, see this one has like a neutral, it's like neutral, right? So if that was on top of like just a burlap color mesh, I feel like it would kind of get lost. And so this is going to really give a nice background to it. Speaking of traditionals, I am pulling stuff to make a traditional decorated tree for our upcoming tree class. You can check that out at holidaytreeclass.com. We're decorating. So I know some of you don't decorate inside your home for Halloween and things in fall, but we are doing a Halloween tree which will be recorded, a fall tree which will be live, and a Christmas tree. And I've already in my head added another Christmas design tree that'll be recorded and in the group. So we have lots of options in there. It's going to be super fun. We're working on tree toppers, tree topper bows. There we go. This is thick. It's thick. That foil makes it pretty thick. Still want to make sure you get it in there. We're going to overlap these. One more here. Now these kits are sold out. And I don't, at the very moment, at the time I'm making this video, I don't have any kits in there. However, we will have more different themes and colors and all that stuff. I actually have a black and white Christmas that is coming up soon. It's really cute. Actually says seasoned greens. Anyways, here we go, rounding out that first layer, flipping those all under, so making sure we're still kind of flat for the most part, but nice and round. And we do have some divots here, but our ribbon is going to help cover that up. So again, we have 2 ribbons that we had in the kit. They are 2.5 inches long, and we pre-cut them 14, I'm sorry, they're 2.5 inches wide, 14 inches long. Y'all, it's late. I'm recording this. It's super late. Pull them apart. Oh, see? So pretty. It picks up that green and that holly. It's so pretty. Oh, yeah. And see now those divots we're starting to cover up with that little ribbon there. So we're doing the outside. If you haven't followed me before, if you haven't watched this before, I like to do the outside ribbon or the mesh and the ribbon first, because that inside layer is going to come, it's going to be like as big as my hand, and it's going to come right down on top of it. And then this piece is going to come right down on top of it. So you're covering where my chunky little fingers have to go, right? And so in order to just kind of skip a step and not have to play with the ribbon and the mesh and all that stuff twice, I just have always done it this way. I've just always done my outside layer and then moved on to the inside layer, just so that I don't have to touch anything or move anything twice. Now, that's just for this particular design. It might be different if you're making a bigger wreath, smaller wreath, all those things. You know, there might be different methods or reasons for different styles. But for this style, I like to do the outside ring first before I move on to the inside. I'm going to cut those off all at the same time. Okay. There we go. Now, technically, because that pipe cleaner is going to be up underneath the next layer, you really don't have to cut it off. I do, you know, for best practice, I do it when I'm live with y'all, so you can see the difference, and it can, you know, I eliminate the confusion of the pipe, all the pipe cleaners. but you really don't have to. This ribbon is so thick. It's so pretty. I really do like the look of the ribbon against that green. It's so pretty. Very enhancing. Again, typically I like the neutral mesh. This time I just wasn't feeling it. That happens every once in a while. I'm a creature of habit, but sometimes I veer. But there's always a reason if I'm veering. There's always a reason for sure. Now we have a wreath that looks pretty weird. Outside row is finished though, and we'll move into that inside. So we'll do the same exact layer on the inside on those pipe cleaners that are waiting for us. We'll do the same exact thing there. Then we'll make our sign, or make our bow, add our sign, and then we'll be done. I'm not touching the rest of it, just going to leave it just like that. And then we're going to come in again with our next layer. It's going to go, whoopsie, it's going to go right on top. So I'm not going to move anything else out of the way. It's going to go right on top there. Our sign is a 12 by 12 square. Somebody asked me the other night what my favorite size is for the pancake wreath. And for different reasons, that varies. My favorite go-to #1 size is the 6 by 12 rectangle. That's my favorite, just because that's what I make the most of, really. Here, we're going to keep going just like that, coming right down on top with that mesh. The next one will help hold this one down. You don't want to just grab that either. You want to make sure you're ruffling right up to the edge. This, once you have everything cut, it does go kind of quick. Now remember, lots of fraying going on here. Don't even worry about it. As you can see, you look at that outside frame, the outside ring, and you can barely see, if at all. And as soon as we have this layer on, you won't at all see it. Y'all, I'm sorry. I have still this nasty little cough that's hanging out. Of these out there. This makes about a 23-24 inch wreath, so nice and big on your door. It's just going to be a rather flat design to fit between the doors, the main door and the storm door. After you do this several thousand times, it kind of gets repetitive. And, you know, people always say, oh, you make it look so easy. That's because literally I've done it several thousand times. So I just make sure my ruffle stays right up the center as much as I can. I kind of keep I'm moving my hands, but I'm kind of keeping my thumbs still. Same with my pointer fingers, if you're noticing. They're not moving, I'm just kind of using them as a guide. My middle finger and my ring finger are the fingers that are really kind of just grabbing with my fingertips and pulling it towards me. That helps keep that center, for me at least. It helps keep that center where I'm scrunching super duper little and nice and tight. Oh, well, I only have one here. I must have miscounted. So we'll cut one more piece. So your kit, if you purchase this kit, it comes with a whole roll. Oh, I know. I did that on purpose so that I could show you how I cut. I don't know why I did that. I cut with a rotary cutter, nice and firm. A rotary cutter on a self-healing mat. Again, it is fraying. Just keep your patience. Be patient. Be patient. Once you're all done, you won't see it. All right. So, self-healing mat. I'm going to use that for a weight almost. Not almost. I am going to use that for a weight. Rotary cutter. Come on over here. And we're going to cut it 20 inches long. Nice and tight. And as you can see, this has seen better days. I need a new mat, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to ruffle right up the center. Keep it nice and little. Last one going on top here. Push it all the way down. Push nice and tight. Overlap here. Hey, listen, you're the boss. You gotta tell that mesh where to go and where to stay. Okay. I'm not going to go back and touch that outside layer of ribbon just yet. I like to wait until I'm all finished. So do the exact same thing. The exact same thing. I'm going to put them in here. Nice and tight. Twist, 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 twist. I'm going to put them all in first, and then we'll cut the excess and fluff all at the same time. Just so it kind of goes a little bit quicker. Every single time making sure you're going nice and tight. You can tell because like once it's down in there and you kind of are, tighten it, it kind of cinches. So it kind of lifts up a little bit, perks up. We are definitely going to fluff those. Okay, mesh 20 inches long, ribbon 14 inches long. This is what I call the traditional pancake wreath or pancake 1.0. There's definitely a 2.0 and technically there's a 3.0 that I released in the carbs class. Get it? Pancake carbs? Some people are like, I don't understand. It's a play on words. Creative carbs. Alright, get those out of the way and do our fluffing. Push that in. Again, do the same thing. Pull them apart, pull them apart. So, so, so pretty. Very pretty. I chose this plaid purposefully because it's the diagonal, and then the sign has the diagonal. These layers here start to be so pretty at this point. Super duper pretty. Okay, now I'm going to zoom you out just a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Now we are going to make a bow, but look how pretty that would be just like that. It's so, so pretty. I absolutely love it. It's so pretty. The sign has red glitter going through it. The ribbons have gold glitter going through it. It's really, really pretty. All right, so we are going to add our sign, but we're going to add it not exactly in the center because we have to leave room for our bow, and we don't have a lot of room to take over. Like, we can't put our bow like right here. So we got to make sure our bow is going to be kind of low profile. So we're going to do, I'm going to use a staple gun. And I'm actually going to use wire. Now, if you purchased it as a kit, your kit has two zip tie mounts that look like this. Okay, you're going to peel off the back. If you have a little bit of DAP Rapid glue, add a little bit of that to the backing, to the sticky part. So you'll take this whole piece off, add the little glue, and stick it right on. Okay? Do that when you start your wreath. I'm telling you that at the end. Do that when you start your wreath so that it's dry by the time it comes. Just a teensy tiny little bit of that glue will do. I personally like to use a staple gun, and now I like to use wire. I didn't do that before. I typically would use pipe cleaners, but I can't know whether you have a staple gun or not, so I don't, you know, I send the zip tie mounts just in case. Let me grab some wire. So I'm going to staple our sign, not quite a 1/4 inch. Staples come in 1/4 inch, okay? You can't say I need something a little teensy tiny but smaller. So I am going to add those in. Oopsie. There we go. I'm going to add those in side to side. Now, if you have a staple gun and you want to use wire, this is 22 gauge wire. I like using the wire because it's a little bit easier to slide through all those layers of mesh that we just created. So I'm going to set that aside, and we'll make our bow. So again, those extra pieces that we had left over from the ribbon or from the tails, you can add it in. I personally don't, but I mean, some people might not like to just waste, but in the garbage it just went for me. And the reason for that is the number one reason, and the only reason for that is if I can help it, I don't like to put the same ribbons from the tails into the bow. I like the bow to just be its own thing. It just really stands out by itself. And so that's what I like to do. All right, 8 inches on the tail, 6 inches on the loop. This is going to be our bottom loop. And we're going to pinch. And let me get this light over here. There we go. Pinch, twist, loop. So we're looking here for 2 loops on that bottom layer. Pinch, twist, loop, pinch, twist, loop. These poinsettias have the slightest glittery shimmer in them. It's a beautiful ribbon. Okay. So we're gonna make our own little bow that's gonna not come over our words with not a huge tail coming on here. Okay, so our next layer is going to have 1 loop per side. 1 loop per side. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the others, just a little bit. Pinch, twist, loop. Look in there. Now the kit came with 2 yards of all the bow ribbons, and you are very welcome to do something completely different. It did come with 2 yards each for the bow ribbons. Top it off, we're going to do one of my favorite plaids. It's got that gold trim in it. 1 little loop on the top. Nice little pinch. And a twist and a loop. And we're going to go back to those 2 loops. So I did 2, 1, and now 2. Definitely one of my favorite plaids here. If not my favorite Christmas plaid. Beautiful. Pinch, twist, loop. That's all I keep doing. Pinch, twist, loop. There you go. Slide it down in there. Okay, so these are going to come down. It's going to go up and over. That's going to come up. Those are going to go over. Super cute, right? Right. Okay. I'm going to take this up. Nice and tight. Squish. Make sure that the center is nice and secured. Nice and tight. Twist, twist. Now we can take our tails and bring them down. All down. Excuse me. While I have it here, I'm going to give those a nice cut. We have a lot left here. Again, if you have the kit and you wanted to make those, that middle ribbon a double layer, it's totally great. I'm just going to lift that one right up, that one in the center, lift it straight up and kind of wiggle it through, making sure our layers are layered. kind of just tuck in those little, give them a little kiss on the end. There. Super cute. Okay, this is a really pretty ribbon, so I am going to keep that, and it's enough to do at least one layer in a bow. Take a drink here. Slide that over. Alright, so we need to have room for our bow and our sign, so I'm going to put our sign up a little bit, and our bow is going to come right down here. Perfection. Absolutely perfection. Alright, so I'm going to take those wires and snuggle them right through where we want them. Right through the mesh. The wire goes pretty quick. That pipe cleaner on the bow is going to go a little bit slower. Just because the wires are just one wire, and the pipe cleaner is actually two little tiny wires twisted together. And so sometimes that gets caught on things, and yikes, it's not the best. It's not my favorite. So here we are, just tightening this in. Do the same to the other side. Leaving a nice little spot there for our bow to go. Just snuggle it right in. Before I really cinch it down in, I'm trying to make sure that those pipe cleaners are covered. Just taking those wires and stuffing it underneath there, making sure they're not getting anywhere. Not going to be rubbing anybody's door. They're all just secured. Okay. Alright, so now I have this one little spot. Just make sure those look good there. There we go. They looked a little scrunch, and I was like, that doesn't look good. Alright, so we're going to take our one little spot that we created for our bow and add the bow. Now again, this one's going to be a little bit, maybe a little bit tougher, just because I'm kind of wiggling it in, all those layers. Ooh, I got that one quick. That was good. And then the other one, pulling it in. Come on, there we go. Again, wrapping that right around those frames. This is perfect. All right, snuggle it in. I'm not snuggling it too far, but I am snuggling it in pretty good. Twist that pipe cleaner, and of course hide it like we were hiding all the others. It is beautiful, super duper pretty, very traditional. Absolutely love it. This guy looks a little bit too long. We're going to give that a little cut there. It's a little longer than the other side. Here we go. And then one last go around to make everything is coming out to the edge, coming out to the edge, coming out to the edge. There we go. Absolute perfection. I love this one. And I know y'all did too. This kit sold very quickly. I hope that you all enjoy. I hope those of you who got the kit, I hope you were able to put it all together. It looks great. I wish you quick success on the sales. It is a beauty. Thank you very much to everybody for watching. I hope that this has inspired you to get out that mesh and those ribbons and start making a wreath. Holidays are coming, whether it's for your door, for a gift. It's a great, great little business that we've gotten ourselves into here. Again, it's Melissa from Sincerely Creative Mom. I appreciate you watching. I hope you are subscribed to our channel, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, y'all.